Today we're looking at the difference between a $4, $40, $400, and $1,400 collectible of the lovely Hinata from Naruto. What's the difference between a $4 and $1,400 collectible? While some answers may seem obvious, money, 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 money. We're gonna explore the topic by looking at 4 different collectibles so that you can see things firsthand. I'm giving away one of the Hinata shown in the video as well, so stay tuned for details on that. Without delay, let's check them out. Our first collectible comes from the Naruto keychain or bag clip series. They've released 4 series so far, and I believe series 5 is coming out very soon. I have that on order. Can't wait to make a fun video with those. We're gonna open up a whole entire box, but if you were lucky enough to pull Hinata, so this is what she would look like here. Pretty good overall, especially for the price. We have that clip on top and the ugly looking information on the back for her. I hate that production, but that's what you get with cheaper collectibles sometimes, is you have all that crap on the plastic, that seam line in the middle as well. But still, again, for the price, a very neat collectible, especially if you are into keychains. Again, look forward to busting open Series 5 in the future, but on to the next box. We have the Vibration Stars version that actually just recently came out as well. I've never owned or opened any of these, but I've seen lots of pictures and have been impressed by those thus far. Great packaging already. Everything is in these individual slot pieces inside the plastic bag. What's nice about this one, again, it was $40, is because it is plastic. It's not very... Alrighty then, so as I was saying, because it's $40, it's made of cheaper material, plastic or PVC. We have this classy looking oval base, that production information on the bottom there, rather than the actual figure itself, a little bit better. After first opening it up, I was impressed by the paint job and quality. Almost expected to be like a Funko Pop with a bunch of paint bleed. Oh, look, they had to sneak some of that information right on the booty. I think they do have that printed on there though for authenticity purposes, so a necessary evil. But going into the twin lion fist that they had sculpted here, they do separate so they can connect onto the hand. I almost thought they would have like a separate hand sculpt that would fit in, but it actually goes right over top her hand, and there is 2 of them. As for the top half, everything does look great. I mean, again, clean looking paint job all around, even that silver zipper going down the chest there. All the wrinkles throughout the outfit, the sculpt was just done really well by the company. On that cufflink is a black mark that unfortunately I can't take off. Sometimes that does happen with these figures, not really a paint issue. There's a seam line in the middle of her hair as well. It always happens with these plastic figures because different pieces are molded and sculpted separately. So we'll go ahead and get the twin lion fists on off camera. And there she is, the $40 collectible. I'd say I'd probably price it in the range of like 25 or 30 bucks, but is what it is. With these, there's just so many made around the world, and that's kind of what goes into these higher end collectibles, is they're gonna get more and more exclusive as we go up. So with this done, we'll go ahead and take a look at the gorgeous looking mega house. Special thanks to a friend of mine, Jeff, who did lend me this Mega House version 3 of Hinata. This is, again, $400, and what a hike up, 10 times the price that we saw of the previous one. With that much of a markup, let's unbox this and see what you're getting. A lot of different pieces going on here, so we have 2 different layers of plastic on the back. We'll see the effect pieces are there, but let's get this out and take a look at the details, quality, and what we're dealing with. A lot of stuff going on here, about 12 pieces in total. We'll take a look at the base first. Initial glance is very disappointing. Underneath, this is very cheap, crappy looking. I'm surprised it didn't have some kind of cover on the bottom there. At least the paint job is done well on the rocks, as well as the dust particle effects on top. A bunch of holes and notches all around the base. That's where effect pieces and she will connect to as well. In order to elevate her and give her a dynamic pose, they have this dust particle with steel rods in the bottom and top, so that's very nice that they included that, because what that means is it's not going to bend or warp over time. This was quite difficult to get in, and even still it didn't fit flush in there, but here is Hinata herself. Now the sculpt overall looks amazing. Again, the paint job, a big elevation from the Vibration Stars that we saw before. A lot of different shading going on. There's some steel rods in her foot there. The one thing I gotta say that I am not liking about this figure is gonna be the portrait for her. She looks like a child to me. Doesn't look like her age when she was fighting against pain and using the twin lion fist that we'll see soon. One thing I did notice is on the chest part of her outfit is going to be like a mesh netting, so it feels like a cloth. That's a really cool thing that they did add in there, so it's not plastic. Now we need to get her on the base, and while I do that, let's talk about the giveaway. This is a worldwide giveaway, so anybody can win. All you need to do is be subscribed to the channel with the notification bell, like this video, and leave a comment below on what your favorite female ninja or kunoichi is in the Naruto series. The winner will be selected by pinning your comment to the video. And there she is mounted onto the base. So this is where it kind of takes it from feeling like a figurine to more of a statue. Even though it's made of plastic, I always think of statues being made of resin, but this one does feel like a statue, especially when we're adding giant effect pieces like this. Here's the first of the twin lion fists. My gosh, did they really animate these and make these crazy dynamic looking? I never remember them having this much of an effect piece flowing like this. This is another part of the whole Mega House series that kind of is just so different for me, is they make the characters and the jutsus look very glamorous, right? Not flashy, but glamorous looking, as if they're posing for some kind of magazine cover. The head was super tricky to get on, but finally I do succeed in that. And with all this together, we do need to build this figurine up a little bit more with the effect pieces on the side. The crazy thing is the rock and dust feel so dense, hard, and heavy that I'm not sure if these are actually made of some kind of resin material or if they are actually plastic. Either way, they do feel nice quality to them. There is the initial three that go onto the base, gives it a nice whirlwind effect surrounding here. On the backside is where we'll do the fourth piece, which is kind of an odd one where it does connect to one other piece as well. So like piggybacks on top of it. You can see that little notch there connects to the actual plastic. So there is everything connected. Kind of cool. I do love how it does give it a different presence and feel altogether, a lot more movement to it. But the two things I really don't like is, again, her portrait looking like a child and the bottom of the base. It's just ugly, the round, cheap feel to it. They could have made it look much more like an organic piece was taken from the battlefield as she's battling pain. I want to showcase real quick. This is my model palace Hinata with Naruto in the background. So this one cost about $450, so a little bit more, made of resin. You can see such a very different scene. It's like it's being taken from the actual series. Naruto in the background, first of all, right? The portrait and emotion on this one is killer. She looks ready to defend and fight. You can see the twin lion effects as well aren't as over the top as we saw for the Mega House. One thing I dislike also is there's no edition size to the Mega House on my left, so they could print thousands upon thousands. It's not really feeling like a true collectible, especially for the $400 price tag. Moving on to the most expensive, this is the $1,400 Iron Kite Studio quarter scale Hinata statue. The box is ridiculously huge, and again, this is about 3 to 4 times the price of the previous Mega House. On the bottom, you'll see 388 were made in the entire world. That is a really exclusive item to own. It does come with an official certificate of authenticity, so you know it is real. It does have that edition size on there as well as some other information. There's a little seal on here, so again, you even know the C of A is authentic itself. The statue does come with 2 different nameplates. We have the first one here in English with pink lettering, and the second is in Japanese. We can see the kanjis on there. So more of a headband style. There is the difference between the two. The bottom portion of the base is that round, classy looking style with some textures all throughout. If we look at the very top, we'll see it looks like it was taken exactly from the battlefield where she faced off versus Pain. In order to add some motion to the statue, we have a bunch of different dust effects that were included on here, painted to look much more realistic than the previous one that we saw that was kind of dirty, brown looking. This is more white with some stones and rubble in there. The first effect attaches with magnets, and the second is going to attach with a steel rod that we'll see on here. Just such a much different quality compared to the previous. Most statues are primarily made up of resin. Resin can be very fragile, easy to break, but that kind of goes into the notion that we're using high quality materials here for the statue. And not only is the material higher quality, but the way that they bring it to life is much more manual, the process. Most of the previous things we've seen come out of plastic molds, while this one has a lot of things that are hand painted, handcrafted, real people pouring artistry into the piece. On the bottom of this foot, we'll see a notch with a steel rod. Now, all along the pant cuff right here, we'll see a bunch of dirt was sprayed on there to, again, further reinforce the fact that dust, dirt, rubble's flying everywhere. I just love the way that they did the paint job for her outfit. These notches that you see all throughout the body will have effect pieces attached to it later. The chest area of the statue looks very proportionate. As you'll see, the arms and head are missing, so we'll attach those very soon. Now, you may have been thinking that we're done at the base of the statue, but we are not. There's actually some extra effects that we do need to put on here. I mentioned this notch before. Here is the first effect, and there are 2 others that attach after this one. You may be thinking, why add these extra little details or effect pieces on here, but it does overall add to the organic feel of the base, like it's a whole scene all together, not multiple pieces done separately. So this is the last of the dust effects, but we do have some pain rods that they did include with this. We can stick all along the base, just further adding to the fact that she is on the battlefield, just about to duke it out with him, though unfortunately it wasn't too much of a battle. Still one of the most iconic moments in the series for her, and also a catalyst moment for Naruto, pushing him to a place he might not have went to naturally. One thing I love about higher end collectibles is options. So for this statue, you're gonna have two different options for yourself. You can have one with her hands without the twin lion fist, so we can see the two different formations, definitely the perfect pose for her. But if we take a step back and remove this, we do have one of the twin lion fists. This thing is crazy. It is like the size of a softball in my hand, and I almost wish they did have LEDs. Unfortunately, they do not, but the amazing translucent resin that they use for this brings them to life well. Not overly done like the Mega House, kind of similar to the model palettes one they did before, and that's how they look on her. It's nice that they do give you options, but I only see one option here, and it's going to be with her wearing these on the end of her hand. So on to the next section, which is going to be the head option. So first off, she has her headband that goes on here, and the head will hold it into place, but we have to take that off temporarily to show off all the different portraits they included. Here's a calm and rested face. The flow and motion of the hair is very beautifully done. A few different shades in there as well to bring out some of the strands they have. Then we have that classic little ring that goes around her head, similar to that of Rock Lee. While this is cool, we have a second option here where some blood is dripping down her forehead from that battle. Crazy cool, brings a whole different emotion and feel to the statue. There's also a third head, but I lost the footage for that somehow, but we do have it showing up right here. We'll transition. Which portrait is your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? Love the third angry expression, adds another feel to the statue. So here are two different stands, and these are what I would call bust stands. If you want to, you can take the heads you don't use, put them on these stands, and display them next to your collection or statue. I personally don't like heads randomly scattered in my room, so they're probably going back in the box. Here is how she looks all together. Absolutely beautiful. 3 to 4 times the price of the Mega House, and let me tell you, worth it over and over again. I hope it was helpful getting to see all these different collectibles today showcased. If you did enjoy today's video, I think you'll enjoy this one as well, of Pain. And as always, everybody, I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out!